Okay, here we go. This was 100% inspired by Overanalyzing Avatar. I'm a big fan, and those videos were really cool for me to watch, so I decided to do an overanalyzing series on my favorite anime ever, Naruto. So yeah, just wanted to get that out the way. Here's another thing to get out the way. As you can tell, I've only improved with segues. I've decided to include episode 141 and the final episode 220 into this one, just so the quote-unquote finale of Overanalyzing OG Naruto is one big focused episode and not one normal one and two little ones. I've aligned the canon moments of those episodes to be in the same order as they are in the manga, so the animation might look different at times, but I promise everything fits in. And I'll probably do something similar with Kakashi Gaiden when Shippuden comes around. So yeah, episode 135, episode 141, and episode 220, action.
Kakashi-sensei. Where's Sasuke?
These being the first words of the episode is so heartbreaking. You can see throughout the episode Naruto's struggle with the fact he failed, and the fact those feelings are kind of getting kicked off right away is really good. We're not wasting any time, we're just getting into it.
Neji Hyuga and Choji Akimichi are both in critical condition. At this point, they could go either way.
I like how this kind of gives us the gravity of the situation. Like when we're watching the Sasuke retrieval arc, it's easy to get wrapped up in each individual fight, but when every injury and the status of each of them is listed off like this, it makes us realize the consequences of what was objectively a failed mission. And now, in doing that, we feel like the time is ticking. This girl is actually the same one from the Sasuke flashbacks. You know, the one that kind of looks like Itachi from almost every angle. Also, I like that both Choji and Neji aren't in typical operation rooms. Like, Choji has seals all around him while Neji's in this big-ass room.
It's all here, thoroughly researched. Medications, their effects, and ingredients. This is excellent.
Small detail, but you can actually see the Nara clan symbol on this book, which is really cool because it would make sense they'd have the cure to the food pills. Not only because of Inoshika-cho, but also because Tsunade subtly alludes to the deer antlers being used for medicine. And of course the Nara clan would have deer antler because of the forest, which is obviously based off the real-life Nara park.
We're using the boy's own hair as a conductor, so focus on that. Try to accelerate the growth rate of the injured cells.
Shizune's actually goated for this, by the way. Arguably, Tsunade had it easier, given that Shizune has to do emergency surgery. Top 3 medical ninja in all of Naruto, by the way. Also, this guy's definitely Nabarame, you can just kind of tell. Also, Neji's little surgery room kind of looks like 8 trigrams, just because of all the circles and the big green ball in the middle. I like that you can see Shikamaru being noticeably nervous here. Like, this was his first mission. He might have looked strong as a leader, but the mission still failed and everyone was still injured. So now he's responsible. His decisions might have just killed his friends, and that's a hard thing for him to deal with.
Only one thing's clear. I'm just not cut out to be a shinobi.
It's kind of crazy how hard Shikamaru's being on himself. Like, he's young, especially for a Chunin, and he gave his team the best possible chance of winning given what he was working with. And like, yeah, he failed, but it could have been so much worse. And I think what's really cool about this is that even he said at the start of the mission, they should be prepared for this kind of situation. But right here, he realizes he just wasn't. He realizes training and reality are
two different things.
Honestly, all you men with such fragile egos.
Temari really is just the opposite of Shikamaru. Like, imagine if Shikamaru was saying this. He'd just say the same exact thing about women, let's be honest. Also, they still can't get Temari's eyes right. Please lock in.
What, are you afraid you might get hurt?
This is what I mean, by the way. Temari's eyes last shot looked like this. Now they look like this. Can we lock in? Please? Anyways, I like how Temari kind of presses him here. She understands the very thing Shikaku tells Shikamaru. And in her eyes, all she's seen Shikamaru be is this S-tier fucking light Yagami levels of genius. So when he runs away like this, after one mission, this is all she sees. Like, to her, this very clearly smart strategist randomly decided he's no longer a shinobi because he failed. Like, of course she'd be kind of annoyed at seeing that. What does it make him? I also like how this now makes Shikamaru more flawed. Realistically, the only thing to really say he's flawed for is his blatant misogyny. But now that he's failed and this is his reaction, it allows him to feel more human. And that allows him to be more relatable.
Standing around arguing's not my thing. That's something girls like to do.
And what are you? Not a man, that's for sure. Far as I can see, you're nothing but a coward.
Holy bar, by the way. I think it makes a lot of sense for Shikaku to have this kind of attitude. Respectfully, Shikamaru is being a coward here. There's no justifying what he's doing. And like, his reaction to hearing pushback is just to walk away. He won't even engage with the opposing side. Like, yeah, of course Shikaku would just say it how it is. There's no point in sugarcoating it.
You think if you quit, the missions will stop? Someone's gotta do it.
Shikaku's mentality and philosophy is really good. It's a lot like Sokka's, if you've watched Avatar. Being a man is knowing where you're needed the most. And Shikamaru's needed the most here. Leading his comrades is the best way to protect them. If he isn't leading them, then what will happen? What if someone dumber's in charge? That very perspective is what Shikamaru's lacking here. He's so tunnel visioned by the fact his comrades were injured that he can't see it. So I think it's really good that Shikaku just says it how it is. W father?
He's gonna be just fine.
I like that Choji being okay is kind of what initially broke Shikamaru. Like, you can see him start to shake after this is said. Probably because he was scared as hell, but now that Choji's okay, it's almost like that tension finally broke and he could let down his guard. And now, the emotions from almost losing his best friend and what Shikaku said kind of just hit him all at once.
Neji Hyuga is safe. His condition has stabilized.
She's in goat corner, by the way. Neji was arguably in a worse condition, and she did that shit. Put some respect on the name.
Your mission was a failure. However, everyone's alive.
Tsunade's a W leader and Hokage for this, by the way. She acknowledges it's a failure, but also looks at the bright side. That kind of thing is what a leader needs to do. It helps pick up the person you're leading while also motivating them to do better. And given how Tsunade's actions as Hokage tend to be questioned to hell, I think this is worth noting. So again, W Tsunade.
Next time, the mission will go perfectly.
Peak, by the way. I think Shikamaru's reaction here is perfect. He's taken what Shikaku said to heart, finally let what he's feeling out, and is in a position to move forward. That's kind of all you need. And when we see him in the time skip, we can kind of tell he's grown. Something that wouldn't have happened if this moment and this reaction didn't exist.
But I think it would be a good idea if every squad had at least one member of the medical corps assigned to it.
You certainly don't have to convince me.
I like that Shikamaru has the same exact idea that Tsunade once had. And actually, he technically had it at a younger age too. That shows they think the same, in the sense that they're both logical but passionate and emotional. You know, great minds think alike.
They need a whole different set of skills than fighting shinobi. Like perfect mastery and precision of chakra control.
Oh yeah, that kind of reminds us of someone. Who does that remind us of?
Sasuke, you are the chosen one.
Yeah, whatever. When are you gonna give me the power?
I like that Sasuke just gets to the point. He wants it now. He probably wants to kick Itachi's ass right now. Not to mention, he probably just wants to get Final Valley out of his head. And new power would probably help with that.
Watch what you say if you want to live long. Don't let his physical appearance fool you. That's still Lord Orochimaru you're talking to.
This is actually a different voice actor, by the way, not Kabuto's original one. Kabuto's original VA is Henry Dittman, and this is Kirk Thornton. He's done a ton of people in One Punch Man, then also Tanjiro's dad, Rin's dad, even Taiga's fuck-ass dad in Toradora. He's also done a lot of people in Naruto too, like Tazuna, Kisame, Mifune, Pa. He's kind of a goat in his own right, so shout out him. I love how Naruto's just devastated. In his eyes, he failed, but he didn't just fail himself, he failed everyone. He let Sasuke leave, he lost the most important bond to him, he let down Sakura, and he failed to keep his word. He failed his own ninja way, something he's lived by since the start. And when he felt like everyone was counting on him, he couldn't pull through, and now he has to accept that.
I just thought I'd look in on Naruto, and Sasuke if he's there.
It's just so brutal.
He's gone.
I'm gonna say it again. It's just so brutal. It's pretty easy to hone in on how Naruto feels during this situation, but Sakura's got it pretty bad too. Like, the person she loved is gone, and she couldn't do anything about it. That sucks. And I love how this is shown, not only because it feels very isolated and perfectly shows what Sakura's feeling as she's hearing this, but also because it allows her to hear it before Naruto tells her, allowing her reaction to be a lot more scripted. And that's really good. It makes the moment kind of feel off and allows us to feel for both Sakura and Naruto. We feel like they're in it together after this, and that makes their friendship feel a lot more solidified.
Sakura.
Naruto.
I love how this scene starts off with a lot of tension. Like, it's hard to talk about this. Naruto clearly feels terrible, and Sakura very clearly knows what happened. So it's hard for both of them to even address this. Like, how do you even go about it? It's not really a light topic.
Sorry, Sakura.
Sorry? What have you got to be sorry about?
Sakura's reaction to this is really good. Not only because we can tell it's fake, but also because it's clear she's trying to lighten the mood. She can tell Naruto is devastated, and she doesn't want to make him feel any worse. Like, that's a really good friend move. And honestly, without this, I don't think Naruto picks himself back up, at least not this fast. So, W Sakura, if only people looked at her as a character instead of saying, pink-haired girl? Hell no.
It was the promise of a lifetime, right? I meant it!
It's okay, Naruto. Really.
I think it should be noted that Sakura initially doesn't want Naruto to keep this promise. At least, I've seen it that way. Like, right here, she realized she needs to get stronger. This whole thing was a wake-up call. And at least right here, she wants to take on the promise. She wants to get Sasuke back herself.
Don't forget, my way of the shinobi means I always stand behind what I say.
I like that this is Naruto's reaction to Sakura saying that. It's his ninja way. If he said he's gonna do it, he's fucking doing it. And I like how that makes Sakura and Naruto now feel like a team. Like I said, they're now in this together. And I feel like in a way this inspires Sakura. Like Naruto, she won't let herself feel sad about this. She's gonna use that energy to get stronger. Not to mention, now Naruto picks himself back up, he's no longer sulking, and that now smoothly leads into his talk with Jiraiya.
You may have to wait for me a little bit. I promise I won't be dead weight.
Oh hey, it's a new episode. Could you tell from the weird looking Naruto? I said it before, but I like how this is a wake up call for Sakura. Like Naruto, she doesn't let this be a moment of sulking, she lets it be one of growth. The thing that sucks though is that some people might not see it that way. Especially cause this isn't a fucking mixed canon episode, like what are we doing? I'm gonna go off about this at the end of this video cause it's actually dumb.
I'm here to make a request, milady.
It's a cool touch that Sakura off-rip calls Tsunade milady. Like she's always had respect for Tsunade, and that's why she asks to be her apprentice. Speaking of...
I would like to be your apprentice.
Okay, let's get the obvious out the way. Sasuke's trained by Orochimaru, Naruto's trained by Jiraiya, and now Sakura's trained by Tsunade. All three are trained by the Sannin. Okay, it's out the way. I think it's really cool that Sakura asks Tsunade. She's smart, so she knows Tsunade's the best medical ninja ever. And she thus knows what it requires to be good at it. You need great chakra control. And that's her strength, it always has been. So getting trained by the best medical ninja will allow her to hone her strength into a solidified technique. And that's gonna let her stand out and be strong in her own right. Like, that's so cool. And it's really easy to look at what Sakura does here and see the easy comparison, but it's so clear she thought about this. And this is also in mixed canon, by the way. Cool touch, but Jiraiya actually doesn't have his headband on. Or whatever's on his forehead. That thing.
We've reason to believe you've been chosen as their next target, and we have 3 or 4 years before they come after you.
Using the words
reason to believe
is really good writing. It gives them the reason to have Naruto train for 3 years and thus give us the time skip, while also making it understandable that they don't initially go after him, allowing the story of Shippuden to be what it is. Very cool.
Orochimaru won't be able to reincarnate himself in another body for at least 3 more years.
I like that this Orochimaru 3 years thing gives Naruto a reason to leave. Just like the last moment, it allows the time skip to make sense, while also making us go, yeah, that makes sense Orochimaru would have to wait. Okay, so you know how Naruto tends to use a lot of fisheye lenses? Well, here's a Todai lens.
Forget Sasuke. Huh? You can't help him, so just forget about him.
Fucking stupid ass Jiraiya. It actually does make sense why Jiraiya would say give up, albeit it is dumb. Like he's trying to protect him and you know he has bigger things to worry about, that much makes sense. But Jiraiya saying give up is really interesting because look how Orochimaru turned out. He's kind of the reason everything bad's happening. So why would Naruto let Sasuke become that? Like of course he'd want to save his friend. On the surface, Jiraiya and Orochimaru are very similar to Naruto and Sasuke, but in reality, they aren't that similar. Jiraiya accepted Orochimaru's evil, but Naruto knows the real Sasuke. He knows who he really is. And when it's put like that, it's a lot more like Hashirama and Madara, not Jiraiya and Orochimaru. Wonder why that is.
If you insist on going after Sasuke, then you'll get no training from me. I'll have the Anbu Black Ops assigned to guard you to prevent you from leaving the village.
Okay. Say it with me.
So that was a fucking lie.
Eventually you're going to face enemies far worse than Orochimaru, and it's time you started preparing for them.
Question. Who do you think Jiraiya is alluding to here? Just like the Akatsuki as a whole, or like someone specifically? If he's being specific, it's probably like Nagato, or just Pain in general. Like, it's gotta be.
Fine then. If being smarter means what you say it does,
I'll remain a fool my entire life.
Naruto's reaction is so good. He doesn't give up, and he doesn't go back on his word, so why would this be an exception? If he let it slide once, he'll let it slide a second time, and then a third time, and then quickly his ninja way wouldn't mean anything. Not to mention, he wants to do this. He doesn't want to let this bond with Sasuke go. He'd rather die by his ninja way than let it go, and that means he's bringing Sasuke back. And like, it's so good he stands up to Jiraiya here. This might be his teacher, but Naruto's gonna take exception to something like this. Like, just because he's training him doesn't mean he can disrespect what he stands for. Like, W moment. And it shows he's not gonna let one L shape his entire mindset.
This is more than foolish. It's so colossally foolish, it might even work.
I think this line just describes Naruto as a character perfectly. Like, think of everything he's done up to this point. He committed a very serious crime just to learn a jutsu. Then he turned into a shuriken, shit in Kiba's face, headbutted Gaara, let Kabuto impale his hand so he could hit him with a Rasengan, and then faked an attack so he could get to Sasuke faster. And that's not even mentioning what he does later. Like, this is our GOAT, by the way. He's in GOAT corner number 2. So remember in episode 2 I overanalyzed Naruto's bedroom? Well, we're doing it again. He's got this big plant, so he's keeping that alive, along with his big-ass pipe, which, yes, that's a pipe, I promise it is. He's still got the towel thing, as well as his poster. He's also still got the boxes under his bed and the yellow blanket, you know, because he has yellow hair, and his calendar's changed. He's also got this cabinet, which we couldn't see then. He probably opens it up every day like SpongeBob. And yeah, that's about all it's got. We'll come back to this during Shippuden. I like that the last thing Naruto does is look at the picture of Team 7. It helps motivate him. He wants to bring Sasuke back, and he's got to get stronger to do that. Also, his face makes him seem like he's just thinking like, just watch me, and I think that's really cool. He hit the absolute lowest of low, and this is how he reacts. GOAT corner 2, I say. It's kind of crazy that Sakura is already this good at medical ninjutsu. Canonically, this is like 3 months after becoming Tsunade's apprentice, but still. This is probably a lot more tedious than like the Rasengan, and she's already very good at it. Like, that's insane. I like that we get to see all the other genin before Naruto leaves. Not to mention Iruka and the GOAT Teuchi as well. It feels like an actual send-off for them, even if it is technically mostly filler.
You keep focused out there, no goofing off, alright?
Focus is my middle name, Sensei!
So that was a fucking lie.
Naruto focused Uzumaki, by the way.
Just you watch.
Looking up at Minato is such a good touch. Not only is it calling back to episode 1, but it's subtly showing he's his kid. And in Naruto's eyes, the 4th Hokage was the best of the best, and he wants to be better. So this smile is him being confident in himself and saying, watch me. I'm going to be better than you. Not only that, but really cool detail here. The shot looking up is Naruto's perspective. He says,
just you watch.
Then it's an overhead shot, which is theoretically Minato's perspective, showing he's watching. Now pair that up with how half of Kurama is in Minato, and how Minato has a portion of his own chakra sealed in Naruto. All of that subtly tells us that when Naruto says this, he was and will in fact be watching. Like, so cool. I like that Hinata doesn't actually say anything to Naruto as he leaves, because it shows she's gonna be watching. And this is just after Naruto says just you watch, by the way, so that's cool. I do have a nitpick though, and it's as annoying as it gets. I don't like the fact that Sakura and Kakashi don't have a proper send-off. Like all the other genin do, but we really don't get anything from the other main characters. And it's so annoying because Kakashi has something about Obito in the manga, and it's like, that could have been enough, but that's not shown. Like, what are we doing? And with Sakura, I'm kind of being a dick here, but why couldn't she have been shown? There's no reason for her not to be here. Like, it could have made Naruto leaving to be so much more heartwarming if he left saying bye to the rest of Team 7. And I know this is the most, like, my steak is too juicy, my lobster's too buttery moment of all time, but still. Cool touch, but Naruto's face is right next to the stone faces, showing he's one of them. Also, I know I just nitpicked Naruto leaving, but I do love it. Like, it is still really good. He ends off on a positive note, which puts who he is as a character on full display. He hit the lowest of low, technically last episode with Sasuke leaving, but he's bounced back. And him leaving is him telling us it's not over, and that it won't be the same the next time around. Like, it's a great note to end off Naruto as a character and as a show on. But now it's Akatsuki time. Who the fuck are these people? I'll give them some credit, okay? In the manga, you can clearly see someone that looks like Sasori and another that very much looks like Deidara, but who are the rest? I'm like 99% sure one of them is Iruka's voice actor.
We'll deal with our old friend Orochimaru in time.
Which just doesn't sit right with me. And don't get me wrong, I like that they're shown. It sets the table for Shippuden. But like, I don't know, at this point there were some of the Akatsuki introduced. You couldn't have shown them more clearly? Ending off on a nitpick, by the way. Jeez. Okay, so cause this is the last episode of Overanalyzing OG Naruto, we have a lot to go through. And I'm doing it like this. I'll be talking about the episode first, then Naruto as a show, then I'll talk about the future of Overanalyzing Naruto, then just Overanalyzing OG Naruto as a whole. Here are the timestamps if you want to skip certain things or hear others first, but yeah. Episode time. I think this is a really good send-off for Naruto. I think the ending is really good. We see Naruto's low points as well as Shikamaru's, and we see how they react to it. And the fact that we leave with this feeling of it's not over is really good. It kind of gets people hooked on the idea of what's next, and I mean, thank God it did. I don't think any scene misses either. There's not really a moment where I'm like, this is kind of boring. And I think there's something to be said about that. An ending that can keep 100% of your attention is a good one, and this isn't even really an ending, it's a to be continued. With that being said though, why are some of the moments hidden behind filler? You maybe didn't notice how this episode was spliced. Let me give you the rundown. The chronological order of every scene in this episode goes like this. Everyone in the hospital, which is episode 135, this is fully canon. Then it's Shikamaru talking to Tsunade about medical ninjas, that is episode 141, which is mixed canon. Then it goes back to episode 135 with Sasuke and Orochimaru and Naruto in the hospital. Then it's 141 again with Sakura asking Tsunade to train her. Then it goes back to episode 135 with Jiraiya and Naruto's talk. Then it's episode 20 with Naruto leaving, which is mixed canon. And then it's 135 again with the Akatsuki. That is the anime adaptation in the chronological order of the manga. And just by that alone, who the fuck decided this? I'm not trying to be a dick, right? They know more than me at the end of the day. But why not just have a second fully canon episode? Why split it up like this? It cut out Kakashi at Obito's gravesite too. Like, there wasn't a lack of content. And it's so bad too. It kind of targets Sakura specifically, which is kind of a theme throughout original Naruto. Like, her growth as a character is hidden in fucking filler. And like, she's hated as a character, at least the Western audience does. And this would have been so beneficial to everyone's opinion on her, but nope. She deserves to go to hell. And like, yeah, I understand this isn't made for a Western audience. Of course it isn't. But like, there's definitely some motive behind this. Like, it's so bad. Why do this? Why mess with the adaptation when it was all in front of you? I won't understand it. This isn't, of course, saying the content is bad too. I'm just criticizing the execution. Like I said, there was definitely a motive in hiding Sakura's moment in filler, and that's so bad. Other than that, though, no complaints. It's peak. Naruto is peak, and I love how part 1 ends. Thank you, Kishimoto. He's in Goat Corner 4. Okay, now it's Naruto as a show. Naruto is my favorite show of all time, and part 1 Naruto / OG Naruto is easily the most nostalgic. There's so many moments, scenes, fights, arcs, everything that just feels so good, and when I say peak, I fucking mean it. I think everyone can kind of agree when I say, I wish I could watch this for the first time again, and I don't know how many pieces of media share that kind of quality. Like, there's nothing like this show. Nothing comes close. I don't think anything can match the vibe, the tone, or the feel of this, and that's really hard to do. So many things feel the same when you're watching it, but everything here feels so Naruto, and I think that's really special. It has, in my opinion, the best cast out of any show ever. When a cast has like 20 plus characters that would make sense if they were someone's favorite, I think it's done a good job. And I don't know how many shows have that. Like, no other show can have a Naruto, a Sasuke, a Kakashi, a Lee, a Tsunade, an Itachi, a Gaara, or like, even a Kimimaro. Like, there can be characters that are similar, but no show can match what those characters are, and that's so good. There's a reason so many shows and movies are inspired by Naruto. It's not really that surprising when you understand how fucking peak this is. And the story too is amazing. I genuinely don't think there's a bad arc in OG Naruto. I think they're all pretty up there. It's like the cast thing. You could say any of these arcs are your favorite and like, I don't know, it makes sense. And the fights too, oh my god. Personally, right, I think OG Naruto has weaker fights than Shippuden. But also, like, Naruto and Sasuke vs Haku, Gaara vs Rock Lee, Hinata vs Neji, Naruto vs Neji, Shikamaru vs Temari, Naruto vs Gaara, three-way deadlock, fucking Neji vs Kidomaru, Shikamaru vs Tsuyu, Lee vs Kimimaro, Gaara vs Kimimaro, and then Naruto vs Sasuke part 1. all of these fights are amazing. And when I think about these fights, I can't help but think of how creative the world is. Like, a character like Sasuke lives in the same universe as Haku, who also lives in the same universe as Gaara, who also lives in the same universe as Hinata, who also lives in the same universe as Lee, who also lives in the same universe as Naruto. Like, there's no true weakness to this show. Nothing can be what Naruto is, and I think that's why it's so special. Just the GOAT. Thank you, Kishimoto, for making an actual masterpiece. Okay, future of overanalyzing Naruto, let's just get into it. Here's the quick TLDR. Shippuden will come out, but I will be taking a break and instead just be making more focused Naruto videos for a bit. There'll still be some that are overanalyzing Naruto. It'll just be like a character or a moment. I do want to do the Land of Tea arc and a movie during this break though, so it's not like it's just going to be gone forever or even on a long hiatus. I do have reasons for this break, but I'll try to summarize them quickly. This video is getting way too long. I'll have a video out the day after this one, kind of just going more into detail, so if you want more, it'll be there. The first reason is just for an actual break. I love making these videos, but I don't want the format to get stale and in turn burn me out. I have been making these videos for like 3 years after all. Not to mention I'm a creator, not a machine, and that means I want to create other things. Like, that Toradora video came out for a reason. And the second reason is actually just because if I pre-record, it'll come out faster. Doing one a week like overanalyzing OG Naruto would take like 6 years, and respectfully, I'm good on that. I'm glossing over a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much why. It's beneficial all around, and while yeah, it will suck that it's gone for a bit, it's kind of for the better. It sounds like a breakup. Fucking hell. Like I said, I'll have a video coming out the day after this one, going more in detail, and even giving a possible return date, but again, this video is getting way too long, and I know I'm gonna be yapping for so much longer. Okay, so this part isn't scripted. It doesn't feel right to do that. So if I don't sound the same or I sound more monotone, that's why. First off, I just want to say thank you. Y'all are actually the GOATs. It's really touching seeing some of the comments because I can tell so many of you share the same passion as I do. And I don't know, I love that. It's so cool. And so many of you have been here since like day one, and that's really heartwarming. So again, thank you so much. I watched back like a decent amount of the videos before recording and even writing this one. And I don't know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get at least a little emotional. Like, when I made the first overanalyzing Naruto video, I was 17 and 5'7". I'm now 20 and like still 5'7", but still 3 years? That's crazy. I don't think 17-year-old me would think that this is who I am at 20. And because of this series, I can kind of watch myself grow over time. And like, during overanalyzing Naruto, I have had the literal lowest point of my life, and then points in my life that I look back on with thinking it's so peak. And while watching, I can tell sometimes that I was fucking going through it, and then I can tell sometimes I was like, I was over the moon. And like, that's so beautiful. I love it. I can literally see me grow as a person, and I'm beyond lucky to have that. And watching some of these episodes, they bring so much memories. I feel like while watching some of them, I can kind of go back and remember what my life was like, and that's so cool. I'm not going to say which episodes, but during overanalyzing the Land of Waves, an episode released the day of, in hindsight, the funniest canon event of my life. And the next video, I can tell I realized the gravity of what happened, and that's so funny. Also, like, since episode 74, I want to say, I've been writing a fucking screenplay, and overall, the series has been such a blast to make. It was an escape at times, and I couldn't be more grateful for it and for you guys for watching it. This niche-ass community is the coolest thing in the world. I am so lucky. I think there was only one time during this series I wasn't having a blast, and actually, I can name it. Choji vs. Shirobo, final fight. That sucked. Because I pulled an all-nighter editing it, then proceeded to stay up like 7 more hours because copyright just straight up wasn't budging, which is understandable. You know, copyright is just protecting the people that made it, but like, oh my god. It was so bad. I think this was actually the day I decided to watch Outdoor Boys on my second monitor while I edit, so I guess that's the silver lining. Like, I remember telling my friends, I'm like, oh, yeah, I went to bed at like 3, and they're like, oh, that's not that bad. You made it seem like this was going to be terrible. And then I had to follow with 3 p.m., and I have memories like that for so many videos, and again, I'm so lucky to have that. And honestly, I hope you have that kind of thing as well. The same way this series has made memories for me, I hope it can for you too. Like, I hope I taught you something in this series. And I don't know, I hope this was something you could use as an escape. I hope you could relax while watching this, and I don't know, I hope this helped reignite that passion you maybe once had for the show you loved. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed. I couldn't be more thankful for this community that shares the same passion I have. It's amazing. And I'm hoping that all this growth and all this passion can follow us in Shippuden. It will. Like, it will. It just will. If you want to support me more than just watching this video, you can become a member on Patreon. And yeah, next episode, Homecoming. It's over. It's to be continued. It felt so weird looking up Naruto Shippuden episode 1. I'm so used to doing like Naruto episode blank, and now I have to add Shippuden? Jeez. Thank you.